People always ask how I balance my family life with 400 shows a year. I'm just doing what I love with the people I love. It's my magic life.
I like Wes Iseli. I like everything about him.
All right, guys, we're back. And this week we have a NASCAR driver.
Yeah.
You'll have to help me with all of this. This guy is awesome. I've been watching TikToks for the past 40 minutes. I'm revved up. I just got back from Richmond, Virginia. I was driving down the interstate thinking about this interview today, and I feel my foot getting a little heavy. I love it. I get all excited. Everybody, it's Joey Gase. What's up, buddy? How are you?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on.
So let's get started the way I always get started. I want to know early, little kid, 8 years old, and the little go-karts racing. How did that all start?
My dad raced before I did, just at the local short track level, and I always enjoyed going out and watching him race. And I was always excited to go out every Friday night and watch him and help him in the garage. And when I was 4, I got my first go-kart and just drove it around the house. And when I was 8, started to race go-karts competitively, and then one thing led to another. So it's something I've always loved doing and always been passionate about.
Was your dad helping you, pushing you, or was it all you?
As far as I can remember, all me. He didn't mind me doing it, and I think wanted me to do it as well. But it was a big family thing for sure. My uncle was always the crew chief on my dad's car. My grandpa was always involved, and so just one big family thing that everyone was always involved in.
Oh, that's awesome.
So my knowledge of NASCAR, pardon me, man, it'll fit in a thimble. I don't know much at all, but I can get into it, and I don't know why I get into it, right? So we have Sirius Radio as a magician, listening to Sirius going down the road. I don't lose reception, don't lose the channel. And country music interrupts every weekend for NASCAR. And I'm sitting there in my mind, and you would think, as somebody that doesn't know NASCAR, that I would turn the channel, but I'm glued into it. It's just the way they do the commentary and everything is fascinating. I
drew you in.
I did. I would listen to it every weekend and go into that restaurant.
Yeah.
So I don't know where I'm going here. So you're gonna have to help me with all of the technicalities of this, because I am a layman when it comes to NASCAR stuff. So please bear with me.
Yeah, all good.
But I want to let all my listeners know, all my fans know how we got in touch with each other. You have one of your sponsors is Stripe TV, which also is one of the people that has our television show out there. So we have mutual sponsors. Yeah. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So Stripe TV taking care of you?
Oh, they are. They've been great, and new exciting partnership, and we're excited for the show to come out and all of that. But Renee and James, everyone at Stripes is great people, and we love working with them. So
you have a television show as well with Stripes. It's not just a sponsorship.
Yep. It'll be coming out here shortly. But yes, we'll be building a TV show with them as well. So
awesome, dude. Nice. That's awesome. I was talking to Renee, and she was saying that she's been following you around, going to different places, but I didn't realize you guys were filming. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
So in your TikTok, I'm scrolling on TikTok today, doing research on you. And how often do you guys change the look of your car? I like the stripes with the American logo on it. That's cool. But I also see the green and the different colors. Yeah, it all depends on our sponsor each weekend, and it can change every week. So it's now we no longer paint the cars. We wrap them, so we can change the complete look in the car. A wrap normally takes 3 to 4 hours to put on, and you can take a whole wrap off in 15 minutes. And sometimes we overlay them. You have a new completely scheme under it, which if you're on our TikTok, like you said, you could actually see kind of how we did that going from Phoenix to Vegas the last 2 weeks. So wow.
That's
so
neat.
Is Vegas this weekend?
We're in Phoenix 2 weeks ago, and Vegas this past weekend, and now this weekend we're back close to home in Darlington, South Carolina. All right, well, cool, man, cool. So how does it work? How do you come up with your partner? You have a partner on your team, Scott. Do you guys
How does that work? How does the partnership work?
Yeah, Scott, he's a great dude, and he's always been a big race fan. And a few years ago, he started his own um, own truck team. And we one weekend he actually needed some help, and it was an off weekend for our team. And our team went and helped him at the racetrack. And one thing led to another, and he said he wanted to get into the Xfinity Series, which is now the O'Reilly Series. And we drew up a partnership, and now we're teamed up together here in the O'Reilly Series. So it's something that's been a lot of fun and a good partnership. And he owns a lot of different businesses besides the race team, and he likes to be able to brings friends and family to the racetrack and bring in new partners or sponsors, I should say, to the track as well. So it's something that's a fun and a great relationship.
So when he's on your racing team, he's not out there driving like another car as the team, though.
Nope, nope. Yeah, he's just a part owner in the team.
Okay, okay. So
Nice.
it's just you out there then. It's not a tag team type thing. I thought
No.
cars had teams. I thought some cars
So
had.
so we do have teams, but we're not like a 24-hour race. We're like the long and endurance racings. You actually switch drivers throughout the race. In NASCAR, it's one driver unless something really odd happens. Per car per race, but we are a multiple car team, so we have two cars that are racing each weekend at the racetrack. So I normally am in one, and then we have normally another driver in the other. But Scott is not a driver; he's just an owner. So
Okay, okay. So who's the other driver?
depends on the weekend for us, but we've had a couple different ones so far this year, from Natalie Decker and David Starr to Chad Fincham and Blake, and it just all really kind of depends on the weekend. It is a sport, but it's also a business, and it's a very expensive sport, which means it costs a lot of money to get to the racetrack. So, depending on each weekend, we have a different driver on the car, depending on who's able to bring sponsorship that weekend, and then also on who we think can be the best driver for that specific racetrack that we go to.
So you mentioned Natalie is one of the drivers. That's my wife's name. It just rung a bell. But I was listening a decade ago on the NASCAR channel, and they had a female driver. She was like the first one a decade ago. How many female drivers are on the track now in NASCAR?
There's a lot of different, or I should say, decent amount of female drivers throughout the sport. There's not any in the Cup Series right now, but depending on the weekend, there's normally one to two in the O'Reilly Series, and then a couple in trucks, and then a couple in ARCA as well. So,
That's really growing. Wow.
Nice.
Wow. Am I right? About a decade ago, there was only one, though, right?
they've been coming and going on and off for a while now.
Okay.
But
All right. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about your other sponsor. Your other sponsor is it Give Life?
Donate Life.
Donate Life. Donate Life. Tell Natalie about that and tell the listeners how you got involved in that charity.
Yeah, Donate Life is something that's really important to my family and I. It raises awareness for organ, eye, and tissue donation. My mom passed away of a sudden brain aneurysm when I was 18 back in 2011, and she was only 44 at the time. And it was something that was very sudden and unexpected to us. But when she passed away, the doctors asked us if she'd like to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor. And it was something we never really talked a whole lot about, but we knew if my mom can no longer continue her life, she'd want to do whatever she could to help others continue theirs. So we said yes, and later we found out she's able to help improve the lives of 66 people, which was amazing to us. So ever since then, I wanted to do what I could to help raise awareness for donation and honor all those affected by it. So now we we team up with Donate Life and many different OPOs across the nation to raise awareness for donation and honor all those affected by it. So last weekend in Vegas, we had Nevada Donor Network on the car and three honoree photos, and we invited their families to the racetrack as our special guest. And we also do what's called a Handprints of Hope event. And with that event, either we take the car to a live event and the guests get to physically paint their hand and place their handprint on the car and write a message of hope, or like we did this past weekend in Vegas, people are able to submit their messages of hope online, and we print those out and place them on the car, which is a really cool thing. It helps raise a lot of awareness for donation, and helps people feel their emotions and write their messages of hope out there as well.
That's pretty
That's
awesome.
Yeah, that is. That's really sweet.
I don't think you saw the video of them putting the people's
Mm.
picture on the car.
No, I didn't see that video.
Can you imagine, like, your parents pass away and they're donate and their picture is
Yeah, that's special.
talk about rooting for a car.
That is special. Yeah, I
Wow.
really like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Renee was talking about your other sponsors that you have, and another thing that she's trying to do is get that sponsor for that in the car camera. Do you have a sponsor locked down for that yet? Because that's
We're working on that yet, but yep, no, we can get a sponsor to pay for our in-car camera, which is be really cool. Obviously get the view, see what I'm doing, and see my view from inside the car, and get that sponsor a bunch of views as well, which would be great. So all of our races are live on the CW every weekend, which is great. It lets everyone know exactly where to tune in every weekend, and the CW has been doing an awesome job of broadcasting all our races. So
that's awesome, dude. So I'm lost my train of thought. I totally lost it. Go ahead, Natalie. You got anything for me?
In-car camera. Does the in-car camera have the audio too, so we can hear what you're saying when you're talking to your team? Or no? Camera.
You can hear the car, but the TV broadcast can also grab my my radio frequencies, so they can hear what I'm saying to the crew and what the crew is saying to me, my spotter, and all that kind of stuff. And that's one of the really cool things that NASCAR offers, and anyone can listen to through the NASCAR app. They can actually tune in to every car that's on the track, their radio frequency, and hear what we all are saying about the car and other drivers on the track, and it can get interesting sometimes, for sure.
I bet. I bet it can. That would be fun.
So, like in football, though, can somebody get a tip about what you're trying to accomplish if they tune into your in-car? How does that work?
They can, for sure. So sometimes we have code words and stuff like that, but no, teams definitely have other people listening to other teams' radios and try to see what their strategies are and stuff like that, for sure.
Wow.
Ooh, tricky.
Wow, that's
tricky.
got to be hard.
Yeah, no kidding.
So your mom passed away when you were 18. Is your dad still around?
He is. My dad still is, and he comes to the racetrack almost every weekend and helps out there, and especially with the sponsors, and then also, of course, now that he's a granddad, he loves watching the kids and making sure that they're safe and not getting into too much trouble at the racetrack as well.
No.
What do they do the whole time? We have identical 5-year-old twin boys as well.
Oh, really? Okay, awesome.
What do your boys do during the races?
A million different things. They love going to the racetrack for multiple reasons. They love racing as well. But I mean, it's the cool thing with racing is just one big family atmosphere, and each track's a little bit different. But almost every track has what's called a MRO, which is basically a daycare for the drivers' kids and crew members' kids and stuff like that. And they love going to that every weekend and playing there and playing with all the other kids' drivers. So they love it.
Oh, that's sweet. Are they already in go-karts of their own? Are they already starting that?
Yep, they just started. So we actually are going to go practice on Sunday and have their second ever race on Tuesday. So.
Oh, that's so awesome!
Wow.
And they're 6?
Yep, they turned 6 in December. So.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, but a NASCAR kid. I mean,
I know, right?
Ours had a little Batman thing when they were infants and they could eat and walk around the house. But can you imagine? His probably had motors in it.
Right? No kidding. No kidding.
So, golly, I got so many different directions I want to go in, man. Sorry, I'm crazy today. So, how do you put a team together? When you have a team, are you just looking for a wrench man, or because it's a family, you're looking for the certain people? Who's in charge of doing that? Do you have any say in that, or is that your Is that more
Yeah,
stuff?
no, I'm pretty much in charge of doing all that kind of stuff. So I'm a very hands-on owner and driver, but our team right now consists of 10 different people. Doing all different sorts of jobs. We have some guys that stay in the shop while we're out racing on the weekends, and then but the majority of our guys come obviously to the racetrack and help crew the cars at the track as well. But we're kind of like a traveling circus, really. I mean, we race 33 weekends out of the year and testing, and we go literally all over the country. And last year we also raced in Mexico City, so it's really nonstop all the time. And the last 2 weeks we were in Phoenix and then Vegas, and normally we come back to our home base every weekend, which is in Mooresville, North Carolina. But last 2 weeks we stayed out west the whole time and worked in the cars in the parking lots of the hotel and got them ready for the next race. And then we just got home early Sunday morning. The hauler just got back yesterday. So now we're turning everything around and getting ready for Darlington this weekend.
Are most teams in North Carolina? I feel like they're home base. Most of them are in North Carolina, right?
Yep, yeah, the Charlotte area is kind of like Hollywood for NASCAR. Pretty much everyone's based out of this area for multiple reasons, from parts and pieces. You can't really find most of the parts on our cars, at a O'Reilly or something like that. They're, custom built parts here, and then on top of that, all the cars have to be certified by NASCAR before they ever go to the racetrack, and that's done in Concord, North Carolina, as well. And just like Hollywood, if you want to be a movie star, you move there. And here, if you want to be a race car driver or mechanic, you move here because it's just kind of where the pool of crew guys and drivers and all that kind of stuff is. And the industry is definitely a hard industry to get in, and it's also can be a hard industry to find the right fit of people as well, because it's not just a job, it's a lifestyle. We don't we you have to work until the car is ready to go, because unfortunately they don't hold the race off for you to get there and get ready. So I mean, some weeks we work 40 hours, some weeks we work over 100 or hundreds of hours. It's we sometimes we have to pull almost all-nighters, which is rare, but it's something that you just kind of you gotta love it. It's not just a job, for sure.
What does training look like? You guys are athletes. I mean, I consider you guys athletes, right? Some people might not. Just, oh, he just sat behind a wheel. What does training look like for a NASCAR driver?
You know what? Everyone does something a little bit differently, but yeah, it's not just you're driving down the road just hanging out for sure. I mean, from the G's to how tight and like perfectly have to move the wheel and your feet and your pedals, and on top of that, the heat. Normally, whatever it is outside, you have to add another 30 to 40 degrees to that, to what it is inside the car. And we're in these cars anywhere from 2 to 5 hours at a time, depending on how long the race is and how many cautions there are and red flags and everything else to go on top of that. So you work out, you run, you do all those type of things. And the to me, the biggest way to get in what I call race car shape, though, is just being in a car constantly, because it's so hard to mimic that and the muscles you use and all those kind of things. And like my right triceps always sore after a race, and then your forearms are always sore. And obviously, if you different racetracks you go to, you work different muscles, and if the road course or oval, and if it's heavy braking and not, and all those different things differ highly, for sure.
Yeah.
It's intense.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, do you? Is it a relief a little bit, like just stress and cool down period when you have a caution or a slow down period, or is it still just crazy hot and feels better when you're going 200 miles an hour?
I mean, it's normally a little hotter during the cautions, but you're thinking about it, I guess. You're not focused on driving at that point. It's making you think of everything else. But definitely a caution every once in a while is definitely a good thing to give you a second to breathe and all that kind of stuff, for sure. And You only can really drink anything under cautions and stuff like that as well. So,
Yeah. So, what's the worst? I hate to ask. What's the worst crash you've been in? Has there been any bad ones?
uh, probably Vegas a couple years ago when our my left rear hub broke, so my whole wheel just kind of flew off at full speed, and then I hit the wall and rode it like a skateboard and almost flipped backwards. So that was definitely a hard hit for sure.
Woo!
Now, is there concussions involved in stuff like this, or you guys are so well padded you don't have to worry about that, or is there still?
You definitely have to worry about it for sure. NASCAR has a strict concussion protocol now, and I had to jump through a bunch of hoops to get certified for the next week. And there's a bunch of baseline testing we have to do as drivers now before the season starts and all that. To see where you're at and if to see if you have a concussion and all those kind type of things as well. Because there's back in the day, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. was a big advocate for guys who get concussions and not know it, or they won't worry about it and move on to the next one. And then obviously, if you got a hard hit again, well, then it just continues to make it worse and worse. So NASCAR's come a long ways to try to help prevent that from things like these, and obviously our helmets and the type of padding we have on our headrests and all those types of different things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Golly.
Because that can definitely be a dangerous situation to be in if you don't even know it, and then you go back out there and drive with a concussion.
Right,
That
and
can
then
really screw you up.
and that's what I was wondering after that bad crash. How quick did you get out? But he got out the next weekend.
Yeah, I had to, like I said, jump through a bunch of hoops and things like that and go to a simulator and stuff like that. But I was able to get in the car the next week and luckily and race again. So,
So, do you have a simulator that you can race in the off season? Not that you have much of an off season; it's 30 weeks. But
I do have a simulator that's just kind of a PC with screens and seat and obviously steering wheel and all that kind of stuff, which is great to practice in. But they also have the big teams and the manufacturers have really high tech sims where you sit in basically a car and it's on a sled and it moves back and forth in a ginormous room, which simulates, the feel that you have in the actual car and the G's and all those kind of different things as well, which they're really hard to get in those and they get a lot of time and all that. And you use those things that help your racecraft, but not only that, you also use the sim programs to dial in the car and test different things before you go to a specific racetrack as well. Because every racetrack we go to is so different from if it's an oval to if it's a road course, if it's a short track, if it's high banking, low banking, if it's smooth, if it's flat, time of day, all those different things highly affect what we have to do to the cars setup wise. So even if it's the same racetrack, if you go back during the day or nighttime, or if it's 30 degrees different, makes a big difference in the type of things you got to do to the race car as well.
do they care? Well, here I have two questions at once. My brain is going a million miles a minute, man. I'm so sorry. So with the simulator, with technology, they're probably amazing, but it's still not the same as being in the car under the pressure, correct?
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever, fully be able to get that perfect,
Okay.
but it's as close as they can get it for sure.
Now, with the 30-degree difference with all the stuff that you have on, do they take that in consideration when they book something like in Vegas or Phoenix? Because golly, it can get hot.
They don't really worry as that so much on the drivers itself, and the car, just more on the setup and things like that.
Yeah, why?
And
Why would
really
it?
it's yeah,
Yeah,
but
why?
like the things we have to wear isn't really what gets us hot. It's just all the heat from the car itself, from the engine, from the brakes to all those different things that produce so much heat. And we don't just have, an AC like you have in your straight street car for multiple reasons. To get the work good enough would be hard, and the weight, you don't want the weight, but we do have a helmet blower that goes through our helmet to try to cool off our heads a little bit, and then We also have the option to run what's called a cool shirt, which is a shirt that which basically has water lines that runs through it and runs through a condenser, and it cools the water each time it cycles through and tries to cool down your core. Which when they work great, they're awesome, but if they fail, it's the last thing you want, because then it just makes you that much hotter, and there's no way you can get the water really out of the shirt while you're driving. So then you're just kind of baking. But
Gosh.
they're great to use when they work right, but not so great when they don't.
What is that? What is the odd? What is it? 50-50, or is it 60-40, or what?
They probably fail probably 10-15% of the time.
That's still
So,
too much. That's
Yeah.
still golly. Don't worry about the simulator. Fix this part.
Right.
Fix this part. I
Right.
can do better driving if you just fix this. Wow.
No kidding.
So our TV show follows my family around doing 400 shows a year, because people are like, "What's it like?" We have a 14-year-old daughter, 5-year-old identical twins, my wife, myself, bunny rabbits and birds, and we're going out doing magic shows, theaters, resorts all over the country. What is that like? Well, that's why we started filming our show. What's your show about? Is it following you? It's not a camera in the car. Is it life on the road?
a little bit of all of it. It's recording our life as a family, a race family, and what it's like at the racetrack, at home, and in the shop, and everything it takes to get to the racetrack every weekend, and what it's like at the racetrack, and all those types of different things. So everyone kind of sees a lot of times a little bit what it's like on the big powerhouse teams that have hundreds of people working for them, but they don't get to see what the life is on the smaller teams where we got 10 people, and the effort it takes to get to the racetrack each and every weekend. So it's something that's very unique, and I think the fans and the viewers are really going to enjoy it.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
can't wait. I want to see
Fun.
it. I can't wait. So what about your fans? Talking about your fans, have you made connections with your fans that follow you around from race to race? Is NASCAR that way? Do they follow you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, just like any sport, we have diehard fans that know more about me than I know about myself. So it's pretty cool to see the fans we have, and they collect autograph cards to T-shirts to you name it. It's really amazing how well they travel, and how intense and involved they get into it, which is really cool and makes it really a lot of fun as well. And going back to the Donate Life stuff, it's really cool to hear all the different stories from the people that we maybe that weren't organ donors before that are now, because either they heard my mom's story or another honorees on our car's story, and we get fan mail all the time from people like that, or fans that come up to the racetrack and tell me, hey, I'm a donor now because of so and so story, or they tell me that their loved one was also a recipient or donor, or that maybe even they're a donor themselves now. So it's pretty wild how that works as well.
So as far as how'd you meet your wife?
We actually met in high school, believe it or
Okay,
not. And we didn't date till after high school, but so we've been together for, or known each other for a long time, and we're both from the same school, same town, and all that kind of stuff, and which is Cedar Rapids, Iowa. So
that's awesome. It wasn't a craze fan.
no, it wasn't
Oh,
that
she was
exactly.
down. That's awesome, dude. So, what's in the future for you and your team?
Well, we hope to continue to grow and move up the standings, and see what we can do each and every weekend, and maybe long term someday turn into a Cup Series team as well. But we've been able to do a lot with a little, and hope we continue to do that, and someday do a lot with a lot also would be great as well.
Yeah.
So, is that you driving in the Cup Series and the other series, or is that having multiple drivers with your team?
A little bit of both. The answer to that. I race double duty. I used to do it a lot, and now I do it every once in a while still as well, where I'll race in the Cup Series race and the O'Reilly Series race in the same weekend. So right now, when I race In the Cup Series, it's for another team, but obviously when I race in the O'Reilly Series, it's with their own team.
Wow.
That's wild. That's crazy. All right. So what else do we have here? We have all kinds of questions. Renee sent over questions. I said I need help because NASCAR, I just don't. It fits in a thimble. So what do we have here? We have your family and friends, all that. Your family, your racing family and friends involved. What's the team look like? I mean, so you guys are a family. Is there turnover a lot? Or are those 10 there all the time?
There's some turnover, but then we have, just like any team or business, I guess, people that have been here from the beginning, which is really cool. And you know that you have the ones that will do anything for you, which is great. And we're continue once you get those guys, you obviously try to do everything you can to keep those guys, and they want to stay too, which is great. And it's definitely something, like you said, that becomes a family in your team, but also, different than any other sport, right? You play a different team every weekend. Here in NASCAR, there's 40 teams, but you're seeing the same officials and the same teams each and every weekend. So it's everyone's highly competitive, and we get in fights sometimes and mad at each other. But at the same token, the NASCAR industry as itself is one big family, which is really cool. If you blow up or someone needs a part or piece or anything like that, everyone does everything they can to help each other. We're competitors on the racetrack, but we help all each other out as much as we can because we're all in this together at the same time. When you travel 33 weekends out of the year together, it's a pretty cool thing.
That's sweet. I like that.
So in Magic, I mean, I have people I grew up loving and looking up to, Penn and Teller, people like that. Do you have idols of NASCAR yourself?
I did. When I was a kid, I was always a big fan of Kenny Schrader and Rusty Wallace. And Rusty, honestly, I don't know why I became a fan of him. I did. And Kenny Schrader, what I really liked about him is, first and foremost, he would come out once a year and race at my local home track in Iowa, which was really cool. So he was the first NASCAR driver I ever met. And the other thing I thought was so cool about Kenny, and he still does it today, is like it didn't matter if he was racing a Cup Series race or a local dirt track somewhere. He just loved to race each and every day out of the week. So he's still retired. I think he's in his 60s now, but retired from the NASCAR side, but he's still out there racing multiple days out of the week all over the country in his dirt car. So I think that's really cool.
Wow. So is it true that you guys lose like 10 pounds each weekend? 5 pounds each weekend? Somewhere I've heard that.
Yeah, obviously bigger you are, more you lose, but yeah, it is for sure just all the water weight we lose in calories, but from the car being so hot in the car and sweating it all out. And I mean, when it's the really hot days, when you get out, you're just absolutely drenched in your own sweat. So it's
Hours.
pretty crazy.
That's There you go. That's what you great weight loss plan. Go be a race car driver.
She's a nutritionist, so she has clients all over the country. So get in a NASCAR for
Yeah.
5 hours, you can
That's
lose
what I'm
it.
gonna tell
You gotta
them.
fit in that dress. Go.
Go drive a NASCAR. If you can fit in the car, go drive in it.
God.
Because that's a tight fit, I'm sure. So yeah.
Wow.
Does your car have to kind of be custom made to the driver, right? You can't just throw anybody in there, or no?
Yeah, I mean, each driver is custom, or we get our own custom seats made to where it's it's kind of a little bit of a newer thing. But you literally sit in a lot of our seats now are carbon fiber, and you sit in the shell basically on top of a garbage bag, and they mix two chemicals together. And when the chemicals mix, they kind of grow around you like lava, and then it fits to the shell of the seat and you perfectly, and you trim it down from there. So the seat's literally tight and custom fit to you. So it makes your posture better during the race, so you don't get tired that way on your back and things like that. And then at the same time, it's much safer for you as well.
That's neat.
So, how many cars do you take each weekend just for yourself? Is it one or two?
You normally try to take you take a primary car for each car that's going, and then you also try to take a backup car as well. So we have the race, obviously qualifying and practice. It starts off with practice, and then it goes to qualifying, and then it goes to the race. So if anything happens during practice or qualifying, and if you still qualify for the race, you're allowed to go to a backup car and or change engines. So you bring backup engines as well. And then, but once the actual race starts, you can only use the one car you're driving and engine once the race starts.
So, what's a weekend look like? How many laps do you get for practice? How many laps is qualifying?
When COVID happened, it changed things a lot. But we used to have two 1 hour sessions at least every weekend for practice, and then for qualifying, it's normally 1 or 2 laps. You go out there for yourself and go as fast as you can in 1 or 2 laps, and then the race, depending on the size and just that race that specific week, and depends on how long it is. In the O'Reilly series, where our races are normally around 300 miles, and then if it's a shorter track, they're normally like Bristol, for example, is 300 laps. So so the biggest track we race on is Talladega, which is 2.66 miles, and then our smallest track we race at's a half mile. So it really varies all over. And then our road courses, I don't remember the longest road course we go on now. It used to be about 4 miles, but so the amount of laps we do dictates basically on how long the track is.
Wow. Okay.
So, do you have all these tracks memorized?
Uh, Pretty well. For sure. If you go on a road course, I could, tell you what corner and things are gonna be coming up next. And then every everyone thinks an oval is like all you do is turn left the whole time, but every oval we go to is different for sure on the way you have to drive it and the different characteristics of it and all those types of different things.
What's different in an oval?
Um, the different size of it, how tight the corners are, how long the track is, how much banking it has, if it's rough, if it's smooth, and all those types of different things.
Wow.
And Darlington this weekend is a definitely a very unique track we go to. It's kind of a egg-shaped oval, and it's really narrow, and you have to drive really close to the wall, and it's very abrasive on the tires. So tire fall off is a lot, which means the tires lose grip quickly and also wear out quickly. So it's a 5 set race, and it's only a 147 lap race this weekend. So we can change tires up to 5 different times.
And some of those turns, I mean, you're straight up and down almost. You're looking down at the
Sideways.
yeah. You're looking down at the other wall pretty much. What do some of those verticals look like? And the turns.
Honestly, when you're in the car at speed, you don't really notice how banked it is, believe it or not. But when you're going around at pace laps, you're definitely your head's kind of falling over and stuff like that. And actually, some of the tracks we go to, like Daytona and Talladega, if you're in like a minivan just going around the track checking it out or anything like that, you have to actually go a certain speed, or you actually just slide right off the track, which is
Oh my.
pretty crazy. And I remember a couple years ago during a rain delay for either the Daytona 500 or the duels, one of the trucks that were out there driving the track, actually that happened to them. They started the slide and spun out on the track and got stuck on the banking. So it's pretty wild. So how it happens sometimes.
Do you have a favorite track?
I definitely got a couple favorites. I'm a big fan of Phoenix and Iowa, Richmond, and Martinsville. I'm a big fan of the short flat tracks, and then I also really enjoy the Daytonas and Talladegas as well, which is the big drafting tracks and a big equalizer when it comes to the cars.
We'll have to go. We live close to the Richmond track. We have to go there sometime.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out.
I told Renee when you guys were there, let us know. We'll try to come see you.
Yeah, that would be fun. Come
Sounds
see.
great.
Yeah, we're
Then
close
we
to
know.
Richmond.
Then we know we have a car to root for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And just like any sport for sure, once you know somebody or have someone to root for, it makes it a lot more interesting for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just playing on TikTok, and I see you have your own little miniature cars. I got to get a car now.
Oh, cool.
I'm gonna go look in. I was gonna say Toys R Us, but that doesn't exist anymore. I guess I got to go to Walmart.
Yeah.
I go to Amazon today.
Amazon,
I can
yeah,
get it
there you
right.
go.
I can get it in 2 days.
That's awesome.
I'll put it up here on display. So
Very cool.
that way I'm advertising for you during the podcast.
Yeah, that'd be great.
There
For
you
sure.
go. So TikTok, just search your name. The first video that pops up is you acting crazy. You're going crazy out there, man. You're just rage issues. What was going on that day? You know which video I'm talking about.
I think I stayed more contained than I could have, I guess we would say. But on all honesty, I was very upset for multiple reasons. Obviously, as just a racer and competitor, I just got wrecked and knocked out of the race. Number two, I own the car, and number three, there's really no reason for it to happen. I wasn't even on the same lap of the guy that wrecked me, and number four, the guy that wrecked me, I actually gave him one of his first shots in a race car, and he was a younger kid. So I was pretty mad for multiple reasons for sure. And when I got out of the car, I honestly thought to myself, I can't flip him off or do anything, too bad because of my sponsors, from Donate Life to Bigger Off the Crime Dog that was actually on my car that specific weekend. And when I got out and looked to my left, the bumper was just hanging there, and I, for whatever reason, didn't even think about it or hesitate, and just ripped it off. And about 2 seconds later, he was right there and got to see my bumper. So it was pretty interesting to see, I guess, all how big it got. I mean, it wasn't just NASCAR fans that saw it. It was something that was literally worldwide and got, I don't know how many millions of views, but it was a lot, and it still gets replayed to this day. But it was really interesting to see the comments and the different views of it, and especially really the people that have no idea about anything or the safety standards or how heavy the bumpers are or anything like that. So I would say the American views were very different than the European views for sure.
So did the guy just run you off, knock you off the track on purpose? Is that what happened?
Pretty much, I think he was mad because he was getting beat, I guess. I don't know, because I passed him just like the lap before, and he started to, I guess normally when you wreck somebody at this level, you do it on purpose and know what you're doing. But yeah, he got to my bumper coming out of the previous corner and stayed on it all the way down the straightaway, never lift till I wrecked basically. So that was also why I was mad, because it was racing, things happen, but that was 100,000% on purpose, and was just completely unnecessary, and cost me probably a minimum of $80,000 from the purse to the points we lost to the car just being completely junked. So
before he took you out, what place were you in the race?
it honestly wasn't anything spectacular. I think we were like 28th or something. So it was just, like I said, there was just absolutely no reason for it, and we weren't even on the same lap. So
Wow. So
That's
those
crazy.
that haven't seen it, all you said was he saw bumper. He threw you into a wall. You got out of the car, ripped the bumper off the car, walked out there nonchalant, and then, like, I don't know.
Tossed it.
Yeah, just perfectly launched it at his windshield. It just went off his windshield, and he just kept driving, and you just turn around and walk away. And the comments, like, from ESPN was like, that was so well timed on your part. I mean, the hand-eye coordination, and it was just perfect timing for you. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was I guess that was the good thing, that it would have been really embarrassing if I did that and missed. But at least I hit the target for sure, and did do a little bit of damage to his car, which was I guess good for me. But
Satisfying.
but yeah, people, reading the comments are like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he did that. He had to cut up all his hands. That was super dangerous. He could have killed that other driver." All those type of crazy things. But our body pieces are made out of a composite, so they're extremely light. Like, it probably weighed, honestly, 5, maybe 7 pounds. So it's something that definitely could not have hurt the other driver or anything like that. And I didn't cut my hands. Everyone thought I cut my hands, and all those kinds of different things. So it was interesting to see that, I guess, and all those different things for sure.
And one of the videos said that he might get in trouble with NASCAR. Was there any fallout? Was there a fine or a penalty or anything?
So there was a bunch of different mixed views on what should have happened and shouldn't. And I'll actually say some of it now. I guess the guy doesn't even work for NASCAR anymore. But they, I did get a fine, which I didn't think I was going to get a fine for multiple reasons. But when they came out with the fine, it was a day later than they normally hand them out. And then there was other drivers that did. I don't know if there's any people that's ever really thrown a bumper before, but other drivers, I would say, did just as dangerous things, or more dangerous, without their helmets on. And I kept my helmet on. That didn't get any penalty at all. But I did get a $5,000 fine, and I appealed it and lost in NASCAR court, which is honestly a pretty big joke. But actually, the CEO of NASCAR behind closed doors told me that he was going to try to pay the fine for me because they got so much publicity out of it, right? And I'm not getting any funds out of them making money, basically, on top of it. But of course, he said his lawyers wouldn't let him do that, and that never happened. But it was it's pretty crazy how the world works, for sure. And of course, just like basically any sport or entertainment thing, before you go do it, you got to sign pretty much all your rights away, and they can use whatever they use or get from the race. They can use as much as they like, or use it wherever they want, basically. So.
Well, does the other guy get in trouble for wrecking you on purpose, or no?
He got basically put on probation, but that was about it. So we we had a meeting with the series director the next week at the next race, and basically let me yell at him and say whatever I wanted. And the good thing was, that I thought was funny, he asked if I was good, and I said as good as I can be. And they, of course, got to talk after we leave here. We can't touch each other on the racetrack, blah, blah, blah. But he said I was good to go. And he made the other drivers sit in there for another 30 minutes and get chewed out some more, which was at least good. So.
Yeah.
So you guys good now? Are you friends now, or that was enough?
No, absolutely not. I told him he'll never drive one of my race cars again, and still don't talk to him. But
Or tools from
and that was another thing too. Like, it's, things happen and emotions go high and stuff like that on the racetrack, but at least don't lie about it. And that's what really made me the most mad, that he was continuing to change his story and lie every time he was asked about it. So I lost a lot of respect for him, to say the least.
Yeah.
So when he was bumper to bumper with you and had you, like, kind of tangled up in his bumper, how long was that? Was that a half a mile that he had it?
Richmond's only a 3/4 mile, so the straightaway there is maybe maybe a quarter of a mile or so. So,
That's enough.
Yeah.
It
but
wasn't.
and I mean,
Yeah.
anyone that knows racing or cars, like you're on the edge always of not spinning out. So when you're on someone's bumper like that, going into a corner, especially when they a heavy braking track like Richmond, you can't literally slow down because someone's on your bumper like that. You're going to wreck and spin out.
Mm,
Golly.
mm.
Wow. So your boy's racing this weekend on a dirt track. What does that track look like?
It's a track called Mill Bridge, and it's a small dirt track, but it's a really well-known go-kart and quarter midget track here in North Carolina. And it's where the cool thing is, obviously, in out here, a lot of people are in the industry, so we're off, I guess, saying doing your day jobs on the weekends. So most racetracks always race on the weekend, which they do as well, but they also race during the week. So people like myself still can go out and have fun with your kids and watch them race and let them race. So it's something that's unique and really cool. And they get a bunch of carts out there, and it's one like just like on the NASCAR world, highly competitive, but also one big family, and the kids love going out there and playing with other kids they're racing with as well.
So do they get to come into your shop, or is that OSHA regulated that they can't come in there because it's too
Oh
big?
yeah, no, they just left a little bit ago, and we actually have their go-karts here in the shop too, and they love coming in and working on them and messing around on them for sure.
That was my next question. Do they get to crank them up in there and work on them a little bit?
Yep, they do. They love the help any way they can and learn, and that's definitely what I think the world needs more of in just general, not just auto mechanics, but people that still know how to use their hands and actually physically build and fix things from houses to the cars to toilets to you name it. That's one thing I think we need to start changing in school is getting people to still know how to actually use their hands and not just do office work. So that's something I'm trying to really teach my kids, and hopefully they grasp onto that. Not that they have to go do that for a job someday, but at least know how to do it.
See, man, I'm one of those people. My dad had Parkinson's when I was 7, and he just hired anybody to fix anything because he couldn't do it physically. So I didn't learn how to do that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I can't make a sandwich, but I love it that these people can do this. What are your kids able to do at 6 years old? Are they changing their oil? Are they changing the tires? What are they doing at 6?
They can't change oil yet, but they can. They know how to change tires for the most part, which is pretty cool and one of the funnest things for them to do for sure. So
Aw, I
Wow.
love that.
Do they have the machine that goes? I love that thing.
the impacts, yep,
They use the impact drills.
yep, they do. They're smaller
Wow.
ones for go karts. The lug nuts are much smaller, but no, they know how to use them and do it for sure.
Because I'm
That
imagining
is
like
so
a
awesome.
6-year-old, you were standing on ours trying to change our tire and you were
Yeah.
jumping on the,
Uh-huh.
so a kid can't do that. But with
No,
the
yeah.
impact,
That's awesome.
I call it the machine.
Yeah.
Dude, King's Dominion had the Days of Thunder ride when I was in high school. And it was so awesome. And your seat lifted up and you had the guy changing your tire and you felt your seat vibrate. I left that like I'd won the race, man. I felt so good. I love that. That just brought back a memory. I loved it. I loved
That's funny. That's hilarious.
it. Dude, that's great. So, recording the show, you're going to have season 1 debut and when?
We don't know when it's coming out for sure yet, but we hope to release that date here shortly.
Do you have the title of it?
It's gonna be called The Wheelman.
The Wheel.
Oh, nice. I like it. That's
That's
awesome. We
That's
got to
good.
tune in.
Dude, this has been great. Sorry, I don't know a lot about NASCAR, man. You have to help me with this stuff. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know
no problem at all. And that's what we as the grow the sport as a whole, we definitely want to educate people for sure. And that's something, we hope the show will do as well, gain more fans just for the sport as a whole and get people to understand it a little bit more. But no, I hope sometime you guys can make it to a race, and if you ever want pit passes, we'd be happy to get you guys those.
Oh,
It's a whole different level when you actually can go to the race in person. It's way different than the coverage on TV is great, but you don't get to, smell it, feel it, hear it, and all those different things. Our cars are they're extremely loud and make a lot of horsepower, which also makes a lot of vibrations. And people that are blind, they like going to the races too because they can literally feel the cars coming, which is really cool.
yeah.
And the audio commentary is it's awesome. Just thinking about it, driving down the road, I'm listening to a race. I'm into this. I'm into it. It's awesome. So a blind man sitting there feeling that, but
Yeah.
hearing the commentary,
Yeah.
you get it. You get it.
That's great.
I think I like NASCAR commentary better than football commentary on the radio. I don't know why. I can't explain it, but
Yeah,
yeah.
they do a really good job at it for sure and get everyone excited. So
Dude, I'm gonna leave the kids at home. Natalie and I are gonna come out and see you at Richmond. We're gonna do it. We're gonna make it work.
that'd be
Yeah,
great.
that'd be fun.
I love it. I love it. Well, what else? What else can you tell us about NASCAR, the ins and outs behind the scenes?
Like also like the over the wall pick your guys that change your tires. They're also, trained professionals and athletes as well. And a lot of them these days are actually athletes that, either played baseball, football, or, some kind of sport like that and wasn't maybe quite good enough to go to the next level. And they get recruited to come here and train to do this. Because, we change, 4 tires and 18 gallons of gas in 14 seconds, which is not an easy thing to do. And obviously you gotta be really fast and athletic to do that. And the tires are not light either, and when you have interliners in them, they probably weigh about 50 some pounds each. And it's something that also takes a lot of talent and skill and, affects us on the racetrack. The last thing you want to have happen is have loose wheels and also lose spots in the pits. So that's something that we have to do live and makes a difference as well.
And video footage, TikTok, whatever, one of those pit guys getting hurt, falling, or the next car comes in at them or something like that. I mean, they got to get in and get out and be agile. They got to be athletes. I get that.
Yeah,
What?
and yeah, they definitely can't be scared of getting hit by a car either. I guess kind of like a batter not being scared of getting hit by a pitch. But in different racetracks we go, there used to not be a speed limit on pit road, so those guys were extra crazy, just like anything back in the day, where there's no speed limits and they didn't wear helmets or anything, and they just run in front of a race car coming at them 100 miles an hour. But now we have speed limits, but we're still going plenty fast, especially when a 3,000 pound race car is coming at you. But the bigger tracks, our speed limit's 55 miles an hour, which is what you're doing on the highway, and the smaller tracks we go to, the speed limit's 35. So those guys are definitely have no fear for sure.
Now, do they deduct points if you go too fast in that zone?
So yep, if you get caught speeding on pit road, you get, if it's under a yellow flag, you have to start last. And if it's under a green flag, you have to do a drive-through penalty, which is also costs you even worse, costs you more spots on the racetrack as well.
Because then you have to go back in there and just do 55 again.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Well, yeah, that would definitely take spots up.
Mm-hmm.
So this is your team. This is your money out of your pocket when you go. What's a weekend cost you to race?
A lot. It all depends on a bunch of different things, on the different engine package we're able to run that week and the amount of tires you have to buy, travel, all those different types of things. But for like an example, one set of tires is $2,500. So like this weekend in Darlington, if we would just go right to Goodyear and just buy, the maximum allotment, it would be 17,000 per car just for our tire bill. And one of the things we do as a smaller team to try to save money the most we can and still get the best tires we can get is, for example, this week in the truck series is also racing at Darlington, and they race on Friday night. So we'll go hunting for tires is what we call it, and there's other teams that do this as well too, where if a team, if either they have mechanical problems or their strategy didn't require them to use all of their tires, will actually go pay cash for their tires for half the price on what we would pay Goodyear for. Because once that once that weekend is done, we're not allowed to use those tires ever again. So everyone tries to cut their losses and get what they can out of their tires. So that's one of the ways we try to save money and be a little more economical, I guess you would say.
Oh, wow.
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 So if you buy tires and don't use them, you can't use them again?
Only in practice. You're not allowed to ever race on them again. And that's another thing. Each racetrack we go to, they make a specific tire for that specific racetrack, from the type of rubber they use to the stagger that the tire has, and all those different types of things.
Wow.
So I know NASCAR fans that have tires in their lounge, in their man cave. Do you autograph and sell tires? Is that a way to get money back?
Slightly. That's one of the things we can do as well. But we sign, autograph cards, use suits, use sheet metal, all those types of different things. There's actually 2 or 3 different businesses that are big businesses that where they actually use or sell used sheet metals. They buy it from the team, and then they resell them online. And there's like full-time jobs and businesses that's literally all they do. And just like selling, I guess, used jerseys or used football from football games, kind of the same type of idea.
So it's not on your website. You sell it to them, and then they.
Yeah.
Got it. You got enough going on. You can't run a merch business as well.
Unfortunately, there's just not enough hours in the day always.
Yeah. Well, dude, thank you for doing this. Time has flown by. Thank you. I wish you all the best. Be safe out there.
Yes.
Give your kids a hug for me. Make sure they buckle up. Make sure they have their helmets. Make sure they have their gear. Following in Dad's footsteps. It just seems like a dangerous business, man. You're
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much for having me on, and hope you guys have a great year as well.
All right, man.
Yeah.
And we'll be in touch, because we do want to go in the pits and everything.
Yeah,
But
that'd be awesome.
just like my buddy wanting to take me hunting, I don't know anything about that either. You got to tell me what earbuds to buy, what I need to buy,
Yeah.
ear protection.
Yeah.
I don't want to show up looking like I don't know what I'm doing. I want to show up looking like I fit in, and then I'll just.
Sure.
I'm a good actor. I can pretend that I know what I'm doing.
Well, perfect. Yeah, you just have to watch Days of Thunder before you go, and you'll be all set.
Oh, easy. I got surround sound. That's a great movie. Surround. Dude, thank you. Everybody, you're awesome. The only thing we have left to say is see you next week.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Check us out online at wesisley.com and patreon.com/Wes_Isley for behind-the-scenes videos, blooper videos, never-before-seen footage, discounts on merchandise, magic trick tutorials, and more. That's Wes Iseli, spelled WESISELI.